A big one tonight in Charlotte as two of the top three teams in the East meet. It's the Independents hosting Louisville City. Welcome to the Sportsplex at Matthews outside of Charlotte. A loss from Charleston, the league leaders this afternoon, opens the door. With the win, both of these teams can go atop the Eastern Conference. Alongside former MLS player Albert Munoz, I'm Matt Peterson. Albert, let's take a look at our player to watch. First for Louisville City, Luke Spencer, who starts tonight.
Absolutely, Matt. Pleasure to be here tonight, calling this game with you. The 6'2" striker, as you see here, making his height for use, scoring a spectacular goal last game. He's on fire. He's such a strength and poised player up top. He knows how to capitalize on his opportunities. He's looking to continue scoring goals. He has 5 goals this season. He's tied with the lead.
And now the player to watch for Charlotte, Alex Martinez, somewhat overshadowed by his brother Enzo, but he's having a good season himself.
Absolutely. The young midfielder, he's such a workhorse. He's an integral part of the midfield here for Charlotte. He has that brotherly support. He's always connecting. He's a persistent player. He has 14 shots on target this season, 3 goals and 4 assists. Pleasure to watch.
And now these starting lineups, first for Louisville City and their head coach James O'Connor. One big name missing, that's Brian Ownby, who's been very good this year. He rests to start this one. It's a 3-4-3, Albert.
Well, the Piccolo is going to be essential in the midfield with a bend. He's going to connect well with Williams and McCabe up top. I'm really, really excited to see what this midfield is going to bring to the game today.
And now the starting lineup for the Charlotte Independents under head coach Mike Jeffries. One big name missing, Jorge Herrera, team best 12 goals, but he suffered an injury late in last week's win, so he is not available.
This ultimately means that Estrada is going to pick up tonight. He's going to partner up with Martinez up top. That midfield between Martinez, Ross, and Hilton will be essential. It's going to be a traditional 4-4-2 for Charlotte.
Donnie Smith starts at right back on loan from New England. One of these teams could be in first place in the East after tonight. Charlotte looking for revenge after Louisville City won the opener in May. Kickoff is next.
The fabric in this bulletproof vest is so strong, it could stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now, and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. The incredible Pocket Hose Brass Bullet for $19.99. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-417-2105 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-417-2105.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-451-2703. That's 1-800-451-2703 or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
A warm night outside of Charlotte, 90 degrees with humidity approaching kickoff. Alongside former MLS player Albert Munoz, I'm Matt Peterson. Albert, a good one on hand. Louisville struck first, a win back in June. Charlotte has not lost since a 10-game unbeaten streak coming into this one.
That's unbelievable. Charlotte Independents is such a great team. I've been watching them closely. I called their game last week. These players are really smooth. They're playing together. Obviously, they're cohesive. Coach Jeffries, obviously, as he said in the call, I mean, he just wants to continue the momentum. So we're very excited to see what's going to happen tonight with this matchup. Louisville as well. I mean, Louisville is obviously a great team. They have great players. They're constantly battling in the midfield. Del Piccolo is such an essential and integral part of that midfield. So I want to see what Martinez will be able to actually bring to the table tonight after his red-hot fire game last week.
There's Enzo Martinez, one of the stars, the Martinez brothers, both in the starting lineup tonight. And the door is open. Toronto FC, too, getting just their 4th win through 21 games this year. And that brings them from dead last to second to last in the East. Charleston losing this afternoon in an early game. So a bit of a surprise in the Eastern Conference. That means Charlotte, which is 1 point back, or Louisville City FC, 2 points back at the Eastern Conference leading Battery, could move atop with the win. If this game ends in a draw, Charlotte would pull even with Charleston. So a really lot of juicy storylines entering this one.
They'll have more motivation. I'm sure they're aware now. I mean, they have that extra impulse to say, hey, you know, we're that much closer now. Let's give it our all. This is our night. And both teams are wide open, like you mentioned, Pat. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the next few minutes.
All right, fans, we're getting set for kickoff. Who's ready? Let's hear you. Make
It was a 1-0 win for Louisville back in June. Charlotte played pretty well in that game. They played down a man for the final 50 minutes or so after a red card to Ashani Fairclough. And they pushed and nearly scored a few times in second half stoppage time. Here we go from Charlotte. It's the Independents hosting Louisville City FC from just outside Charlotte, the Soccerplex at Matthews. And right off the bat, a free kick.
Matt, you mentioned earlier pregame that what kind of influence we're going to have watching this pitch and what kind of effect it's going to have on the players. Typically speaking, if Louisville's used to the smaller field, Charlotte's going to come in with an advantage. They're used to playing out wide. They're used to playing at home. They want to take advantage of the width. So very interesting to see in the next few minutes, the beginning of the game, see what kind of advantage they're going to take and see if they're going to try to get an early goal on Louisville.
Well, before we can even call his name, we can introduce you to the referee, Christopher Spivey. And that's an important yellow card. Enzo Martinez came into this game on yellow card warning, so he will be suspended for Charlotte's next game. He also plays on a yellow for the final 89 minutes of this game. So one of the rarest things you'll see, a first-minute yellow card, and right off the bat, Louisville in white attacking, and Charlotte able to clear.
Now, I did mention last game, as I noticed Martinez week after week, he's such a passionate player. He's an emotional player. He likes to express himself, so it's not rare to see him vocalizing his feelings and unfortunately sometimes getting himself booked.
Louisville attacking after the yellow card to Martinez. We'll see how the teams grow into this game. 90 degrees at kickoff with humidity, so a typically warm summer evening in Charlotte.
I'll tell you, being a Miamian, that's not easy. I mean, a former player having to adjust to different temperatures and weather, obviously it's not ideal to be playing soccer with such high humidity, I have to say.
Louisville attacking down the right side. Good work to keep it in play. Excellent at the end line, and it cycles out for our first corner kick of the night coming here in the 3rd minutes.
Now, Matt, you noticed first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, Charlotte has not been able to cross the field, halfway point. Louisville has been pressuring them right off the bat. If Spencer comes here and connects and we get a goal, I mean, this could be a very big surprise, and it could be for a very entertaining game.
Corner kick delivered, high lofted towards the back post, headed back across the face, still alive.
Del Piccolo is very dangerous on those set pieces. As we mentioned, such an important player for Louisville. He'll be an integral part of set piece action here for Louisville throughout the game.
Charlotte turns it over once again. A slow start for the home side.
It's surprising because a couple of factors we just mentioned. Obviously, they're knowing that they're that much closer to moving forward, obviously point-wise. They're playing at home. They have that advantage of the large field, It's wider. They're used to it. They train on it. A little surprised that they haven't really gotten more momentum in the first few minutes down into the second half. Second half of the field against Louisville here.
June Marcus Davidson goes long and rolls all the way back to Tim Dobrowski, or Bravolski, I should say.
That's always a challenging last name.
So Enzo Martinez shown a yellow card. He'll miss Wednesday's game as Charlotte goes up to Toronto FC2, who will be riding high after beating the Eastern Conference leading Charleston Battery earlier this afternoon.
That's a huge loss for Charlotte. I mean, Enzo Martinez is such an important player. I've been raving about him ever since I saw him play. Such a obviously credentialed past. I mean, his resume, it speaks for itself. And he brings it every game. I mean, he's passionate, he's emotional. Like, the guy feels it. He really wants to be here. And that's so important for Charlotte, especially missing Herrera, who's out today.
Enzo Martinez pulling wide.
This is what Charlotte needs. He took an immediate shot. First chance he got to get to the opposite side, he took a shot. It was wide, unfortunately for him, but at the same time, he's putting that effort and he's trying to strike early.
9 goals and 4 assists this year, matching his total from last year. 9 goals. Also had 5 assists a year ago. One of 3 USL MVP finalists, along with Brandon Allen and Sean O'Cauley.
Isn't he also poised to be Player of the Month? Challenge with Herrera, his teammate. That's always exciting and motivating.
Nearly 5 minutes gone. A slow start for Charlotte. Louisville's been impressive away from home. Spencer came from an offside position. It'll be a Louisville or a Charleston free kick.
Lucky for Charlotte that was an offside play, because Spencer had control on that ball and he knew how to dribble past Martinez here and could have easily countered with a shot. So I feel like Charlotte needs to really step it up in the first few minutes defensively.
Won by Louisville. Oscar Jimenez up the line. Low cross and heavy touch from Duckett. It's another corner kick for Louisville.
Second set piece. Early on in the game, they really want to make an impact on these corner kicks. They want to take advantage and look for Spencer's head, who's so dangerous, and his momentum is high.
Bilal Duckett, Georgia native. Put that over the end line. Now a corner kick for Louisville City. Same target as the first one. Still alive inside the 6-yard box. Some hesitation. And finally clear, but right back to Louisville. Crossing and headed away. Relentless pressure here from Louisville City. Some hesitation, but then Drobovolsky came off his line to clear. Here comes Louisville. And a huge tackle to block that shot. Very important. Austin Yearwood cutting across the middle of the box to make the play.
That was an excellent cross by Del Piccolo. I was just going to mention a little bit of a sloppy start here for both teams. I mean, midfield has not controlled the ball. Possession is obviously both ways, but Louisville has been creating more chances. Louisville has penetrated already several times. Set pieces are there. I'm sure Mike Jeffries, as you see him here, he's got to be alerted. He's going to make sure his team is awake. You don't want to give up a goal in the first 10 minutes.
Could stay up to the date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM-FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Now, it's unfortunate that Martinez got an early yellow because I feel like he's going to play a little bit more reserved now. He has to be extra careful. He doesn't want to go for that red in the game. Unfortunately, it was so early on in the game. He didn't really have time to warm up to really get into the game. First touches, because that does alter your state of mind when you're playing. I mean, that obviously makes you a little bit more reserved and less aggressive. So that's unfortunate for Charlotte. Hopefully, he's very mature when his decision making comes through.
Tarek Morad across the back. 3 at the back to start this one for Louisville. It will fluctuate between 3 and 5 depending on what Charlotte does. It's a very fluid situation for Louisville. Good touch on this near side. Here comes Jimenez. Central. And then cleared by Kalungi. Louisville's controlled the first 9 minutes. Can they get a goal for their efforts?
Interesting enough, I feel Louisville has controlled, like you mentioned, the width of the field. They're using it to their advantage. They're saying, you know what, we're used to the narrow field at home. Let's really amplify our game. Let's stretch out these players. Let's get the midfield to really work and get these crosses in. And it seems like it's working.
Free kick for the Jacks. You see the pleading the case from Gaia Bend. There's James O'Connor, head coach of Louisville City FC.
Looks intense. Looks like he's plugged in. Love it. That's what you need from your coach. And they brought the intensity today so far. I have to tell you, Louisville has really surprised me. They've really started from scratch, but immediately made an impact from this game.
Louisville's won 2 straight. Last game 2-1 against New York Red Bulls 2. Should be a very different field to this one than the one in June at Slugger Field. Obviously a much smaller field. And now with Charlotte playing at the Soccerplex in Matthews, a much wider field. And both coaches agreed it should help Charlotte. James O'Connor of Louisville said that the width has helped Charlotte in their movements.
Absolutely. I mean, in the game of soccer, it's all strategy, right? I mean, you want to have maximize the space you have. I mean, the more space you ultimately have, the more creative you could be. The less pressure you have from your defender. So it's very, very important that defensively speaking, the opposing team.
Here's a chance. And Charlotte has grabbed an early lead. It's Enzo Martinez. Booked inside the first minute. But that's a distant memory now. Martinez, his 10th of the season.
And that's why the game of soccer is such a beautiful sport. 10 minutes of controlled soccer by Louisville, 10 minutes of pressure, and all of a sudden you have a counter here, and one shot that Enzo takes, he scores. Beautiful strike with his left foot.
Looked like Louisville tried to make him offside, but their trap was just a step late. He stayed onside. It took one touch right between the legs of Tim Dobrovolsky. And Martinez, 10 goals on the season.
Such a versatile player. I mean, he shot with his left. He's a right-footed player. Excellent strike, excellent technique. He is very impressive. He's the type of player that you want on your team. Like I mentioned, I'm really high on him right now. He's someone that makes a difference every single time he steps in the field. Now this is where Louisville obviously continues to be persistent. They need to continue touching the ball, keeping possession, looking for that chance, because they've done it. They've controlled this game for the first 10 minutes. They just need to obviously put one in now to capitalize.
Paolo Del Piccolo has shot from distance, an easy claim for Cody Mizell at the back.
Speaking of Del Piccolo, Matt, notice that he started out wide today. They usually have him in the center of the midfield. He's very controlling. He's obviously a presence. I'm surprised they put him out left. I understand maybe he has his advantages because he could cut in with his right and maybe shoot with his right foot from the left-hand side, but I feel like he might be interchanging at one point or time with the center midfielders, maybe a Bend or even Jimenez, to really create some creativity for Louisville's midfield.
Charlotte leading 1-0. And now a dangerous back pass. Luckily, it was not in front of the face of goal, and it sends Dobrovolsky in retreat. Now we see Charlotte coming out a bit and pressuring a little bit higher against this 3-man back line for Louisville. Tim Dobrovolsky, 23 years of age, out of Rockford, Illinois, played at Loyola University in Chicago. A very good season, just 7 goals against in 10 games before tonight. Back all the way to Mizell.
Impressive. And I was just going to piggyback and talk about how Louisville continues, obviously, keeping possession, in my opinion. They're really holding the ball well. They're really touching and distributing throughout the entire team. They're going to keep that up, obviously. But ultimately, Spencer, like we mentioned, and Speedy Williams are players that will make differences tonight.
Throw into Charlotte.
Great lead up here by Louisville. Again, reiterating, possession is key. Coach O'Connor is very high on possession. I mean, he wants to utilize his midfield as well as possible. And I don't know if you disagree with me, Matt, but it seems like they're really trying to control the game possession-wise.
Certainly seems as though inside the first 15 minutes, that ball was played through for Spencer, but well defended by Charlotte. Finding spaces in front of this back line. Out wide here, Alex Martinez. And a throw in for Charlotte.
A player to watch has had a little bit of a quiet opening. But once he gets moving, I think he'll be dangerous. He showed a lot of class in the last couple games. He's connected really well with his brother up top. And again, I mean, going back to players like Ross and Davidson in the midfield, Hilton, I mean, these are players that are class players. They need to step up. Obviously, 15 minutes in, they're down by 1. They're at home. These are all triggers, right? As a player, you need to be motivated. And again, it goes back to the idea of it's as simple as giving it to Martinez, let him get a proper shot on goal. He's so dangerous, and his momentum's so high that he might be scoring goals every time he takes a shot.
Alex Martinez, 25 years of age, a year younger than Enzo. Wide here to Donnie Smith, on loan from the New England Revolution. His 5th appearance in USL this year. Another North Carolina native coming back home, if you will, on this loan stint from the Revolution.
That's incredible to see how all these players are mixed and they're just touching different levels on a weekly basis. I mean, they're consistently trying to get, increasing exposure to MLS rankings, MLS teams, MLS minutes. At the same time, they come back and play in the USL, which is just, ultimately a very, very high level class soccer. They're all getting that momentum, and it's great to see them come back and forth because they bring such a high element of soccer and quality to both leagues. And for players, the development, I mean, all these players, obviously, they continue to get the exposure and experience that we all want for our American players. So it's great to hear that there's players on loan from USL to MLS and vice versa.
Louisville lost it. Del Piccolo had the last touch, and now Charlotte tries to break the other way. Paco Craig comes out of the back to win it for Louisville. A midfield battle these last few minutes. Lost by Enzo Martinez.
A miscommunication between the brothers.
Good work from Spencer. Tied for the team lead with 5 goals. Tonight's just his 6th start of the season, and most of that off the bench. Run down near the corner by Oscar Jimenez. Crossing central and a vital clearing header.
I saw when he turned to make that cross with the left foot. I mean, that looked very dangerous. And he almost connected with Spencer, which is their game plan. That's it. They want that header ball, that the aerial battle to be won by Spencer every single time. So why not create these chances? So Louisville, I hope they continue. They will create opportunities for their forwards.
There was Bilal Duckett, the former Notre Dame player, heading away. Vital clearance. right in front of Spencer. Now Charlotte back in possession. 11th minute goal from Enzo Martinez, his 10th of the season, already one better than last year. Now a good win from Del Piccolo. Spencer, top of the box, bending it. A few feet wide of that post, but a pretty good hit from Luke Spencer.
I like that opportunity there. Piccolo connecting well. He's the type of player that he will facilitate balls for other forwards. And Luke Spencer, he does what he does best. He grabs the ball, he holds possession, he's a point man, target man, turns and takes a shot. I want to see that more throughout the game here from Spencer.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Cody Mizell with the goal kick. Out of Woodstock, Georgia, played at Clemson. Donnie Smith cutting inside. Louisville wins it back. Oscar Jimenez. Continue to use the width of this field, Albert.
I mean, it serves an advantage for both teams. I mean, if you use it wisely. I remember in my playing days, I mean, I hated it because I had to play midfield and I had to run up and down. But ultimately, if you were wise and you touched the ball well and your touch was on, you could really hold possession on a team and really outplay them and tear them down with exhaustion by minute 70. So hopefully this is an advantage for Charlotte here at home.
Estrada just a heavy touch, and it's out for a throw. And Estrada, a veteran at the pro level, 4 goals this year. 2010 to 14 with the Seattle Sounders. It's the start tonight.
It was a tough task replacing Herrera. I watched Herrera play last game. He had a bit of a quiet game, but his presence, I mean, his experience. The Colombian plays so well. I mean, he's poised. He knows where to go. He knows where to move. He knows where the ball's going every single time he touches the ball. And his team, you know, he's a leader and he's a presence. So it's a huge miss on Charlotte's side when he's gone. But Estrada, like you mentioned, quality player. He really brings a lot of experience as well. So it's a good replacement if I had to choose one.
Louisville City working up this right side. That's a good move and a good recovery. Callum Ross coming back into the defensive area to win it. Alex Martinez.
Showing some skills there, huh?
Yeah, did a lot, but ultimately lost it, and Louisville tries to break the other way. That pulls Henry Kalungi out of the middle.
It's always good to hear fan cheering for their fancy footwork. I mean, ultimately that's what we want to watch soccer. It's entertaining. We want to see some fancy footwork and creativity at the same time as effective play.
Hilton all the way back to Mizell. Yearwood. Back to Mizell, his second year with Charlotte. Another very good season. Just 21 goals against and 18 starts entering play tonight. Two of the better defensive teams in the league. Louisville comes in with the best defensive record in the East. They've already been breached on the 11th minute goal from Enzo Martinez.
And what a goal, what a strike. Left-footed, deadly shot. I believe that was a nutmeg. I believe it went through his legs, actually, Dobrowolski. He really couldn't react to that ball. His feet were planted on the ground. Well struck.
Good touch to help it on to Oscar Jimenez. Jimenez tried to cut, well defended in the end. Good strength. And here comes Charlotte.
These are the counters that they love to take advantage of. Most Martinez, the brothers will combine. In this case, they'll look for through balls or even dribbling or even a quick assist play. But this is what they usually look for when it comes to a breakaway. Unfortunately, they came up short here with Martinez.
Now as Donnie Smith defending for Charlotte, did his job at the edge of the box against Oscar Jimenez. Jimenez back on the ball. Had a successful preseason tryout with Louisville. A few of those in the starting lineup tonight for Lou City. Kyle Smith plays it back. Now, Louisville City taking a little more space. Crossing. Spencer holds off 2, lays it back. A chance here, and it's high and wide.
Great lead up here by Louisville. Del Piccolo doing what he does best, out wide, cutting the ball back in, making that cross. Spencer holding up really well as well, and laying off for an oncoming runner who could take a shot. I mean, this is Louisville's game, and they've been perfecting this throughout the season. This is the type of plays that I've constantly seen him do, and ultimately they usually end up in goals. So hopefully we'll see one tonight.
Tarek Morad receiving some instructions from James O'Connor, the Louisville City head coach. We saw Paolo Del Piccolo on the ground receiving some treatment. Has to be a little bit unique for him returning back to Charlotte. He played with the Independents in 2015, now in his 2nd season with Louisville.
As I was mentioning, I mean, Spencer did really well to hold up 2 players there. And this is the type of play that he wants. He wants his midfielders to come up. He wants his defenders to even run up and create opportunities while he holds the ball. And this is what they need, and this is what they did.
That shot was from Gaia Bend. Struck it pretty well from about 30 yards out.
It's always good to have this break, especially with the humidity. It just will reflect. It will reflect a difference in the next maybe 20, 30 minutes. And all these players, they get worn down with the heat. Obviously, it's been a pretty active first 25 minutes on both teams. Possession obviously is represented. You're seeing both teams usually holding the ball pretty well. Louisville has been attacking more. We've seen a couple of goal opportunities for Charlotte, and they've capitalized on one of them. But possession-wise, it's a pretty even split here. We're looking at a 56% towards Louisville, which is accurate. And then you have the 43% here for Charlotte. So it's on them to really increase that possession game and try to get an equalizer.
Cody Mizell waiting patiently to take this goal kick. Had a short-term loan spell to Colorado Rapids in MLS in March. Del Piccolo back on the field. 17th start of the season for him. 2nd season in Louisville. So we might have to have our first change of the night as Del Piccolo's nights cut short.
It's tough to see. Del Piccolo is such an important asset to Louisville's attack. Kay's coming in. He's gonna have to obviously be able to come up and really bring it tonight. That's a huge and very important midfield role that he's replacing Del Piccolo with.
So Mark Anthony Kay comes into this game. Started for Canada at the Gold Cup against Costa Rica. And now he's back in early change. Mark Anthony Kay on for Paolo Del Piccolo. Back to Cody Mizell, the goalkeeper, out to midfield. First touches for Mark Anthony Kay. Kay looking very comfortable, like he's been on there for minutes. And the offside flag came up. Spencer came back from an offside position. A few times he's done that tonight.
And that's what you want from Kay, coming in, immediately making an impact. Great touch. And that brings his momentum up. His confidence will continue to rocket. When you come in as a sub, for whatever reason, early on in the game, at the end of the game, you want to get that first touch. It's crucial. You want to make sure you have that right touch. You don't want to make a mistake. So when that happens, usually that player makes a difference, makes an impact, and he continues that momentum throughout the game. But what a shame about Del Piccolo. I mean, did you see, was that an injury? I mean, it seemed like he had maybe a self-injury. But what an unfortunate moment here for Louisville.
The captain forced to come off inside the first half hour.
That's ultimately not ideal. I mean, you want your subs to be as needed, 75th minute. players are worn down. You want fresh legs. You want maybe someone to come in and make an impact because obviously they've given their all.
Mark Anthony Kay, well defended. Alungi cut across. Louisville wins it right back. Free kick for Charlotte. It's been a busy day in Charlotte. This is the second game of a doubleheader at Sportsplex at Matthews. The PDL Championship was decided this afternoon as the home side, Charlotte Eagles, beat Thunder Bay Chill 2-1. It was a very good game this afternoon, so Charlotte looking for a 2-game sweep. And the field seems to be holding up well. There are some concerns going into this game on how this field would hold up. It's a new stadium, a new field, but when we spoke with Mike Jeffries, he said he wasn't too concerned about it. He was confident it would hold up into the first 30 minutes. It seems like it has.
Yeah, I mean, typically when you have that scenario and you come in, you want to have the mentality as, you know what, it doesn't matter. This is the pitch. This is what we have. This is what we're going to give 100% to of an effort. So you roll with the punches, right? If it feels choppy, you're going to fix it. You're going to figure it out.
Very confident goalkeeping from Dobrovolsky, pulling it back under high pressure.
That's great confidence. That brings up your team, obviously. That back line is going to be surrounded by your goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper's constantly got to show confidence. And when you see something like this, when he's dribbling out of the back, that just represents a good night.
Mark Anthony Kay out in front of Niall McCabe. Gaia Bend towards the corner. Kyle Smith now wins a throw-in for Lou City. Anthony Kay makes a darting run, but a foul behind the play, a free kick for Louisville, about 20 yards out on the right side.
And I hate to say it, these are the situations that you want Del Piccolo on the field. You want him on the ball with these shots. So now Louisville needs to replace that. And who's going to take a shot? Is it going to be a left footer, a right footer? These are the decisions you make. You hopefully have this preset already. It's predetermined who's going to take these shots, but it's interesting to see who's going to take this shot in replacement of Del Piccolo.
James O'Connor, the Louisville City head coach, observing with great interest. Down a goal away from home and already had to go to the bench. Mark Anthony Kay replacing Del Piccolo. Two standing over it for Louisville. It's bent and just pushed out. Huge save by Cody Mizell, who recovered at the near post, and he clutches his left elbow.
Beautiful free kick. I mean, I usually tend to think a left footer is going to take a shot on the right side of the field, but beautiful strike by Jimenez, and that was going upper 90. And what an effort by Mizell, like you mentioned. He did hurt himself. He did obviously take one for the team, as you want to say it. But he is going to ultimately come on top here, and this potentially might be, if there's any other opportunities like this, a potential save of the game.
So Jimenez will take this corner after his free kick was kept out. What a save from Cody Mizell. Still alive in the box, headed on. And Charlotte eventually clears. Jimenez is a good story. Played Division II soccer at Western Washington University near his hometown of Mount Vernon, Washington. Already 2 goals, 2 assists on the season. He played in PDL last year with the Mississippi Brilla. 2 years ago with Tulsa in USL.
He's definitely an impact player. He's a difference maker. He's someone that connects well with his other fellow midfielders, and he works extremely hard. I mean, he's pouncing up and down the field, and you want him to get on the ball. He's technical.
Austin Yearwood. Tarek Morad. Mark Anthony Kay. Underneath, Donnie Smith. Big cross. A little bit overhit that time. Now a chance, late arriving, huge block centrally. It was either Duckett or Kalungi. May have kept that out. Huge block on the edge of the 6-yard box.
It's another example of how Louisville's taking control. I mean, they're really increasing their energy again in the last few minutes, creating chances, partnering up top. Players like Smith, Martinez, the Piccolo who just came out, who had the same type of mentality, but a bend. I mean, players that are active. And these are the creative players for Louisville, always looking for Spencer. So I feel like they could potentially get a goal coming up in the next few minutes before the half, and that ultimately will bring a lot of momentum for the second half for them.
David Estrada for Charlotte. Donnie Smith on this near side. Good turn, June Marcus Davidson. Patient build-up. Here's the goal scorer, Enzo Martinez. Good defending from Louisville.
Enzo's been quiet in the last few minutes after his goal, and he hasn't had many opportunities to really connect with his brother. So we need him to step up a little bit. Obviously, Charlotte wants his presence because he's such a difference maker, and he'll ultimately put another one in if he gets a chance.
Mark Anthony Kay is fouled. Pulled out the center back, Bilal Duckett. Third year with Charlotte for Duckett. Well-traveled, previously Sacramento Republic, Rochester, New England Revolution, Harrisburg City, among others. Louisville looking to pull a goal back. Charlotte trying to go atop the Eastern Conference with the win after Charleston lost 1-0 at Toronto FC 2 this afternoon. Mark Anthony Kay has been very active since coming on. That time couldn't settle it.
Sometimes you don't know how players are going to come in as a substitute, and they might come in plugged. They might be obviously already ready and warmed. Sometimes players need maybe a few minutes to really get warmed up, but in this case, Kay has come in and made his presence felt. He's obviously been an impact player, so Louisville must be very, very content and happy with him in the first half as he subbed in for Del Piccolo.
Kalungi under some pressure, had the hand to the face of Spencer. And it's under Davidson. Spencer looking for options. Good tackling back. Now is David Estrada coming all the way back to slow down the Louisville attack. Both teams just trading turnovers in midfield. That time it was Enzo Martinez losing it. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow the league on Twitter at USL. Louisville City trying to pull a goal back before halftime. Just both teams sloppy in midfield. Individual players trying to take on others and just simply losing the ball.
I agree, Matt. I mean, it's not a consistent game at all. I mean, it's not a clean game. Both teams are struggling to hold possession. I mean, you have momentum slides. Obviously, they come in waves. 5-6 touches, then you lose possession. So that's obviously unfortunate for both teams because it's losing the creativity that they each have. And these players that are such quality players, they should really, at this point in the season, to have a little bit more of a consistent style of play every single time that they play.
Cody Mizell made the one save he's had to tonight, pushing aside the free kick from Oscar Jimenez, keeping his team in front 1-0. 10-game unbeaten streak for Charlotte. They have 7 wins during that 10-game unbeaten run, trying to go to 11 with the win tonight. They haven't lost since losing at Louisville in June, 1-0.
That's highly important. I mean, Coach Jeffries was saying that's all momentum that they have. They have confidence. Their star players, their leadership, and obviously it rubs off on the rest of the players. And even if they have substitutes coming in, they have a couple of younger players coming in, it's a general locker room feel. They're 10 games in. I mean, this is incredible. It's a huge run. Whenever you're in a team surrounding yourself with players that are constantly with the winning mentality, it really elevates your game.
Now some frustration pouring over as Enzo Martinez voices his displeasure. Looks like a yellow card comes out, I believe, for Paco Craig. Craig walking away, but it's also an argument there from Niall McCabe. So either McCabe or Craig. Did you have a good view of?
And then ultimately Enzo came in to defend his brother. And Enzo needs to be very, very careful on what he does. He has a yellow card and he can't really argue.
So Craig shown a yellow card by our referee, Christopher Spivey. The initial challenge was dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Alex Martinez left the ground with 2 feet exposed, so he might be lucky to avoid any disciplinary action. Could have been a red card.
Yeah, they need to be mature here. They need to be smart with these allegations, and they need to obviously cool it with the referee. They're going to get yellow cards unnecessarily. Alex needs to calm down. I mean, obviously, he got the call. I mean, even though, in my opinion, like you just mentioned, that 2-footed tackle was very dangerous. I'm not sure how he got hurt there.
And we still haven't seen what Paco Craig did to deserve a yellow card. He was just kind of part of the scene there. But nothing that he did seemed to be that egregious.
A lot of verbal attacks against the referee as well. That always got me in trouble. You have to be very smart.
Takes one to know one?
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle Smith commits the foul, and Charlotte with the restarts. And the flag came up against Austin Yearwood, the overlapping left back. First time we've really seen him push forward tonight.
Well, this is a situation. We're 5 minutes out from halftime, right? Why risk getting another yellow card? Why risk getting another injury? Let's be smart. Charlotte needs to hold the ball. They're up 1-0. Let's hold it, keep possession. Stop arguing with the referee. It is what it is. They got the call. Move forward. Concentrate on finalizing this half with potentially another goal.
Player down in the middle of the field. Louisville City will play on. Game getting very lively here at the end of the first half, and then it's simply put out. That's Enzo Martinez, the goal scorer. From the very first minute, I wonder if that had something to do with it. Martinez getting into a challenge less than 60 seconds into the game, and if Louisville remembered that.
Could be. I mean, he did show a lot of aggression in that first minute or two. Martinez is a targeted man. I mean, he's going to be pursued, obviously. He wants, obviously, to be taken down. He needs to be very, very careful with his, obviously, verbal and, obviously, his mental. He's a very strong player, but at the same time, he seems to be a little bit of a hothead, right? So he's very passionate, so he expresses himself, and he gets in trouble sometimes. So such a smart player, such an intelligent player, he needs to constantly calm himself down and play the game. That's the type of player that you want up top, partner up with Spencer. Spencer's more of a target man. K is ultimately more of a 7, which is like a winger type, but he's creative, he's strong, he's fast, and as you see here, he's creating chances.
Well, the yellow card actually went to Niall McCabe, number 11, for Louisville. I think we initially thought it was Paco Craig. Here's Enzo in behind. He is onside. Enzo Martinez has a second. Well, that man's been all over the place for Charlotte. A goal in the 11th minute, and then now just before halftime, number 11 on the season. A back-to-back performance after a USL MVP type season a year ago. He's backing it up this season.
What a terrible mistake here by Louisville. Martinez on fire. This is the opportunity he has. I mentioned all he needs to focus on is scoring more goals. He needs to obviously stop arguing with referees because he knows exactly what to do with the ball, and this is what he's best at: scoring goals, creating chances. Absolutely stunner. 2 goals in the game, going right into half. This is ideal for Charlotte.
It was Paco Craig with that heavy touch, and that was a great shot we just had. You saw the concentration from Enzo Martinez. He was watching the center back, waiting for the mistake. As soon as it came off his foot, he picked it up, calmly ran in and finished. 11 goals in 17 games this season, including tonight. What a year for the 26-year-old.
Coach O'Connor is going to give it to Paco Craig, unfortunately, in halftime. And that was an unacceptable mistake in the back. You can never trap the ball so calmly. You have to make sure you go to the outside. You cleared at one time, but he was so nonchalant with that trap. And Martinez, like you mentioned, he was concentrated. He was focused. He was expecting some kind of trap, miss bounce. He took it, pounced, and this is what he does, ultimately scoring a beautiful goal.
So Charlotte hasn't had many opportunities tonight, but they've taken advantage of their 2 best, both coming to Enzo Martinez. After a 4-0 win against Bethlehem last week, Charlotte in front 2-0 as they look to extend their unbeaten streak to 11 and go atop the Eastern Conference after Charleston lost 1-0 at Toronto FC 2 this afternoon.
This is great for Charlotte going into the half. I mean, they're up 2-0. They have confidence. They'll review, they'll analyze their mistakes, especially in the midfield and the back. I mean, they haven't really controlled the game. They've had a few chances. They've obviously countered, and individually they've done well. But Louisville has the frustrating sides of the game where they've held the ball. They've actually tried to create opportunities as a team. They have their momentum, their touches, everything's sharp, but they haven't found that man in Spencer to come in and make that difference.
Martinez trying to get there. Played all the way back, and a throw-in conceded. It's David Estrada take it. He'll take his time as we are in first half stoppage time. 90 seconds left. Charlotte leading 2-0. June Marcus Davidson spent a few seasons with Vancouver Whitecaps in MLS. Now 34 years of age, born in Japan, moved to Southern California age 12. Good mix of young and old in this Charlotte team. Very common in USL. You have the young players coming up, just starting their professional careers, and guys like June Marcus Davidson bringing that veteran leadership.
That's so important. I mean, I was just going to piggyback on that. Back in my day, when I was 18, 19, and I called into the MLS. I mean, you have 35-year-olds who they're men ultimately. These are family men. Obviously, they have their kids, and you come in as a child. Basically, it's such an impact. But they're usually, and if obviously there's a team atmosphere, they're going to take care of you. They're going to make sure they bring you on, and that versatile locker room atmosphere is going to really, really make an impact on the field.
Low cross, important clearance, an outstretched leg from Kalungi. If he does not get there, there was a few Louisville players lurking centrally. Now it's Hilton trying to run onto the scrap. Enzo Martinez, 2 goals in the first half. That's where we stand with about a minute left in first half stoppage time. It's funny, we spoke with Louisville City head coach James O'Connor this week by phone. We asked him, how can you slow down Charlotte's front four? They have a very good attacking foursome. No Herrera tonight as ball split over the top. And he said communication is very important. We need to have good discipline. But both those goals, not really communication involved. It was just basically Enzo Martinez making a great play.
One of them was a mistake. I mean, ultimately, the first goal was a great through ball to Martinez, and ultimately the defensive line can't do much there. But the second goal, unfortunately, was a mistake. I mean, Paco Craig had a missed trap, as we saw. That's a great individual opportunity here for Enzo Martinez. But communication is key for them, and I think they've done well to hold the general possession of the game in Louisville side. And the second half is going to be a long time. They're going to have plenty of opportunities, and this game is still too fresh to call it.
Halftime from Charlotte. The best defensive team in the Eastern Conference has allowed 2. Louisville City allowing just 17 goals in their first 18 games, but that man has turned the tide tonight. Enzo Martinez, goals 10 and 11 on the season after scoring 9 a year ago. Quick thought from you, Albert Munoz.
Great summary. Enzo Martinez, he put on a show. Do we see a beautiful goal? First strike, left-footed strike, and second goal, pounced on it, same left foot, great goals.
Halftime from Charlotte, 2-0 Independence.
Dogs love road trips and long walks, but when they're thirsty, they can't drink from your water bottle.
How long do we have here?
Introducing the truly revolutionary AquaDog, the portable automatic water mug for your dog that's always handy. Simply fill the AquaDog container with water. Then when your pup is thirsty, simply squeeze to fill the attached bowl and watch as he easily drinks from the AquaDog. Then when your dog is done, just release and the water drains right back into the bottle. No mess, no spills. AquaDog is great for big dogs, small dogs, and older dogs, and it's perfect for pups. It's a must for the dog park. He has his own personal bowl. Order your AquaDog automatic mug for only $19.99, and we'll throw in our easy carry loop free. Order now and we'll double the order and give you a second AquaDog absolutely free. Plus, all of today's orders get shipped to you for free. Order now.
Call 1-800-563-6208 to get your AquaDog. Call or visit aquadog.com. So call 1-800-563-6208. Order now.
Sick of foil that sticks to your food? Well, not anymore.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here, back with my Gotham Steel Crisper Tray, the new non-stick baking rack that fries food right in the oven. The secret to the elevated cooking rack that allows air to circulate around all the sides of the food. And there's no sticking with our super slick tie ceramic surface. The Crisper Tray is great for bacon. All the grease drips right through. Make perfectly crisp pizza logs without all the mess. Or make air-fried fish and chips with no oil or grease. So forget soggy reheated foods.
Get your Gotham Steel Crisper Tray with non-stick Dicerama surface today for just $19.99. Plus get your shipping absolutely free. But we're not finished yet. Order now and you can get a second Crisper Tray with non-stick Dicerama surface, just pay separate fee. Plus get your shipping absolutely free. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-695-8175. That's 1-800-695-8175 or order online at gothamcrisper.com.
Welcome back. Soccerplex at Matthews, just southeast of Charlotte. Beautiful new stadium opened earlier this year. And the home side looking to make it 11 straight without defeat. With Albert Munoz, I'm Matt Peterson. Charlotte leading 2-0, 2 goals from Enzo Martinez. Now just
goal. They've had a couple of chances. Spencer's been a little silent, but he needs to pick up in the second half.
Grabs. Charlotte in position to go atop the East, but 45 minutes left. More from halftime coming up.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And
how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
Few teams in the league are hotter than the Charlotte Independents. The club is currently on a 10-game undefeated streak, which moved it into second place in the Eastern Conference entering Week 20, just 1 point back of the Charleston Battery.
Herrera, he put it in from the corner! Jorge Herrera, the Olympico!
During the run, Charlotte has outscored opponents 23-7. Jorge Herrera has notched 9 goals during the streak. City FC, a team sitting in third in the Eastern Conference, just 1 point behind Charlotte. Louisville handed Charlotte its last defeat on June 7th with a 1-0 win at Slugger Field. Back in front of their home fans at the Sportsplex at Matthews on Saturday, the Independents will look for a little revenge and potentially the top spot in the Eastern Conference standings. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Kids on the field at halftime. Sportsplex at Matthews outside of Charlotte. The Independents leading Louisville City FC 2-0. Charlotte with eyes on first place in the East. More when we come back.
Tired of painful mosquito bites? Horrified when bugs crawl on you? Are mosquitoes and bugs ruining your evening outdoors? Are bugs getting in your house? Now you can get the bugs before they get you with a Zap Light. The Zap Light is both a bug zapper and a bright LED light combined into one. Imagine an evening outside almost completely bug-free. That's what you can get with the Zap Light. And with the increased risk of disease from mosquito bites, there's never been a better time to get a Zap Light than right now. Call now and get a Zap Light for your home for just $19.99. But this offer gets even better. Order right now and you can get 2 Zap Lights. Just pay a separate fee. Order now and you'll also get free shipping. Don't wait another day. Get your Zap Lights right now. To order, call the 800 number on your screen or go to zaplight.com. That's zaplight.com. zaplight.com. Order now.
The fabric in this bulletproof vest is so strong, it can stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now, and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. The incredible Pocket Hose Brass Bullet for $19.99. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-417-2105 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-417-2105.
Sportsplex at Matthews in Charlotte, and the home side leading 2-0, 2 goals from Enzo Martinez, number 10 and 11 on the season. A very warm night in North Carolina.
It's been very tough weather-wise, obviously, for these players. I mean, everyone obviously is used to different climates, but ultimately, as a soccer player, as a professional athlete, you have to adapt. And as you see here in the highlights, you'll see different aspects of how they've attacked well and how players have really capitalized on their opportunities.
Highlights brought to you by Wells Fargo. Louisville pushing forward. Del Piccolo with his head up, time to serve, and a huge block.
Well, unfortunately, he had to step out early on in the game.
Austin Yearwood cutting across. And then this was it, the opener from Enzo Martinez.
One of his first touches after his yellow card. Ultimately capitalized on the goal. Definitely made a point to score immediately as fast as possible and made a difference in the game in the first few minutes.
Del Piccolo did well once again. Spencer, 25 yards out, couldn't bend it just enough.
He was known for this. I mean, this is the type of play that Del Piccolo and Spencer rehearse on a weekly basis. He crossed the ball, pivots, he holds, and then looking for anyone coming in on his attacking side for a great shot. And as we see here, Louisville trying to capitalize on their opportunities.
That was Gaia Ben with that last effort, and what a save here from Mizell.
We mentioned that might be one of the most likely to save of the game. Sacrificed his body. Excellent save by Mizell, and what a great shot by Jimenez here on the free kick.
And then the big mistake, Paco Craig leaving it really on a platter for Enzo Martinez.
He was just so flat-footed. I mean, not very nonchalant trap. He knew it right when he saw it. He unfortunately couldn't track back, and Enzo just, you can't let him do this. You can't let him be so open. Look, he's concentrated on the trap. Great touch on him. Moving forward, set himself up with the left foot, and he capitalized with a beautiful shot. Very well deserved here goal by Enzo Martinez. Second goal of the night.
Born in Uruguay, raised in Rock Hill, South Carolina, a star at North Carolina, and now starring the Charlotte Independence. Here's the upcoming schedule. First for Louisville City, as they hit the busy part of the schedule in August.
Notice how they have a lot of home games coming up. They only have one game against Bethlehem, but the rest are going to be home. This usually takes effect. You have a great advantage. Why not get these home points? You have an advantage with your support crowd. This could be a huge difference maker for Louisville.
And a big one at the start of September against Charleston, which could see their grip on first place fall tonight. If Charlotte wins, they will pass them. As we look ahead at the independent schedule, they have a Canadian two-city road trip, Toronto on Wednesday, Ottawa next Saturday, and then a three-game homestand, Bethlehem, Toronto FC 2, and Richmond. Well, here are the standings. These are live if the results held tonight. So as you can see, Charlotte leading 2-0. They would move to 39 points, passing Charleston. Tampa Bay Rowdies also in a good position tonight. They would pass Louisville City. So Louisville, a chance to move as high as first with the win. They could fall back to fourth if this score holds. But as you can see, several games in hand, 3 games in hand for both Charleston and Tampa Bay.
This is wide open, Matt. And we're going to see what happens with the Western as well. But Eastern speaking, tonight's going to be a definite game to watch.
In the Western Conference, Real Monarchs running away with first place. San Antonio had the great start to the season. They've still only lost 1 game. They're in a good position in second. Few teams fighting for the final playoff berths. Tulsa, Oklahoma City Energy, Orange County, Seattle. Really 4 teams fighting for the final 2 spots.
This is really the time to hunker down. It's a part of the season where you need to concentrate on getting your points. But there's so many good teams here. I see OKC and Tulsa. They're just right there on that brink, and I love watching them play. But Monarchs and San Antonio, they're really up there. They're separating themselves from the pack.
Reno having a very good debut season in the USL. They've scored a ton of goals, and they sit in 4th. Of course, the playoff format, 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, and so on. A nice night in Charlotte as the sun setting, and we are just about set for the second half kickoff after Enzo Martinez scored twice inside the first 45 minutes.
And this is definitely entering the best time of the day to play. I mean, obviously the sun's setting like you mentioned. Everything obviously is going into second half momentum. All these players are amped. They're obviously congratulating themselves and hyping themselves up for the next 45 minutes. I really want to see if there's going to be any changes. It doesn't seem like it, but I mean, at this point in time, typically coaches want to continue with the same roster they had going into the second half so they could continue with the same time and mentality and effort. But 75th minute is usually when I see changes coming into play. And I'm sure Matt, both teams had separate conversations that were quite different. As you see the second half starting, Charlotte just needs to continue being smart with their plays, aggressive with their attackers, and ultimately trying to gain a little bit more possession in the game. But Louisville, I'm sure Coach O'Connor really made emphasis on capitalizing. We're holding the ball well. We're being scrappy. The game's not a clean game. It's not clear. But we're creating more chances as Charlotte. So let's capitalize because they have 2 goals on us, and this is the time where we need to win to make a difference in the standings.
Underway in the second half. Mark Anthony Kay, the substitute for Del Piccolo. Very bright for Louisville off the bench. Louisville really, in some ways, unlucky to behind 2-0, but some self-inflicted wounds, especially the second goal. Heavy touch from Paco Craig as Sean Tosh heads it back. Dobrovolsky will let his field players get forward before big left-footed punts.
Need to have a lot of mental strength and a positive attitude in players like Paco Craig, who made such a severe mistake in his back line. But this is the name of the game. Obviously, you are playing a crucial role in the back line. You need to understand that you have huge responsibility in your touches. So your focus has to be laser on. So as a player, you have to be mentally strong to know how to overcome these moments. And we'll see how he turns out in the second half.
Bilal Duckett, wide right. Donnie Smith. Very patient build-up across the back from Charlotte. Cody Mizell. Header won by Kyle Smith of Louisville.
This is where the size of the field really matters for teams like Charlotte, where they're up 2-0. They play their game right. They open up the field, right? They let the ball play, let the ball do the work. And ultimately, they reserve their legs, because if you let the ball do the work, obviously you spread the field as wide as possible, you're making the opposite team chase. And if you're chasing for 45 minutes straight, you're going to be exhausted. So this is a good tactic to have when you're up 2-0.
A chance here. Louisville has pulled one back. The substitute, Mark Anthony Kay, a big one. And now a 2-1 in Charlotte.
It goes back to saying persistence. Louisville has plenty of time to create chances, and this is what they're doing. They're obviously going to continue playing their game. As you see here, great lead up here by Bend and Louisville getting involved. Everyone, obviously Spencer making their runs, and great touch. Kay, excellent run out the wing and capitalize with his left foot. So this is the type of goal that you want from Kay. This is what you want from him when he comes in from the bench because of the substitute early on. So Coach O'Connor's really happy with his yielding of goal here.
Mark Anthony Kay, his first goal of the season, comes in his 8th appearance, continuing a big summer for the Canadian, part of the Gold Cup squad. As Canada reached the quarterfinals, he started against Costa Rica, but that was a good finish from the left side. And Charlotte, which went to the break with a 2-0 home lead. You can see why these teams are 2 of the top 3 in the East. Louisville not going to pack it in and just pout. They're going to fight back as they look for a second in just a few minutes here. A good step by June Marcus Davidson for Charlotte.
Like you mentioned, Matt, both very, very dangerous teams. You cannot expect that this is going to be an easy game for Charlotte to hold on 2-0. Now they're 2-1. They have to continuously score now, be creative, and be very defensive. You have to understand you can't give up a chance like this. This is a crucial moment of the game. It's almost as if the whole 2-0 lead in the first half went to waste. First few minutes of the second half, now you're down by 1. Obviously you have momentum, you have confidence, and hopefully Spencer turns it. But these are the moments when you want your teams to really revamp their momentum.
Estrada. Callum Ross, big ball over the top, well defended. Kyle Smith, central. Look at the space for Louisville in the middle of the field. Well defended though. Bilal Duckett, center back for Charlotte. And quickly the Independents go the other way.
I'm still really interested in seeing how Charlotte's going to react to this goal. I mean, they're coming out very aggressively, but now this makes you think, are we being too aggressive? Are we going to obviously open up gaps in the back? We can't have these momentums where, look at this midfield. It's completely wide open now for Louisville to attack. Kay has time. He's making these moves. And ultimately, they need to make sure that Charlotte defends well.
Great feet from Kay. Here's Spencer, and he pulls it high and wide. Louisville right down the middle of the Charlotte defense. It started with Gaia Ben, then some great feet from Mark-Anthony Kay to slip around his marker. Spencer a goal last week, but off the mark this time.
They're inching their way. They're closer. Every single time, they're more and more dangerous. This should be alerting for Charlotte. They can't let their guard down. They have players like Spencer and Kay who are on fire, who are obviously hot players, and can obviously turn a game into a 2-2 game in 2 seconds.
Mizell will restart it. Well-traveled, Cody Mizell, now 25 years of age, previously with Tampa Bay Rowdies, Atlanta Silverbacks, also played in Iceland. Part of the U.S. Youth National Team set up from U17 on to under 20. Now we're throwing for Estrada. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM-FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. So, Albert, how can Charlotte regain a better control of this game? Although Louisville really played well in that first half, just made those mistakes. But what's important now for Charlotte with that once 2-goal lead, now just a single goal?
Well, firstly, they have to make sure that Enzo Martinez does not get another yellow card. I mean, because he looks furious right now when he got called out against them. But overall, Charlotte just needs to play with their momentum. They need to obviously have their confidence. They need their key players to step up, stay poised. They have a great game. They have the great possession game, but they haven't really come up today. They haven't been able to be smooth and fluid with their touches. So I feel, if anything, they need to correct their passing game. Play wide, play smart, obviously hold the ball well, and look for Enzo, who, again, if you find him on top, he's going to create a chance and potentially score a goal for you.
Kyle Smith cuts inside. Tarek Morad pushes forward. Now Charlotte trying to break the other way. Alex Martinez. Good recovery from Kyle Smith. Feels like Louisville's winning the midfield at the moment.
I'd say throughout the whole game, they've been a little bit up on the possession. That's just because their players are playing sharp, and Charlotte's a little sloppy when it comes to holding the ball today. And Louisville has put a lot of pressure on the back line. So, I mean, overall, Louisville deserved that goal and more. I mean, that's why this game is still very, very tight. It's wide open.
Kalumi, very good ball, good settling touch, but then a foul call. That was something out of nothing. Callum Ross got forward. Paco Craig back to his feet. Christopher Spivey, the referee, checks things out, but pretty good ball from the center back, Kalungi, who evaded some pressure and then played it from midfield right to a dangerous spot top of the box. Here's Duckett. That's a good pass. Beat 2 defenders, but then they tried to cycle it back wide to Alex Martinez, who was off.
Communication is key there when these passes. They're trying to play blindly, by memory, and when it comes to that, they have to be communicative. They have to make sure that they're always talking and openly understanding where their runs are going to be.
Speedy Williams dropping off deep to help Louisville start the attack from the back. Morad. Back all the way to Mizell. Settled here by Craig. 56th minute from Charlotte. Matt Peterson with Albert Munoz. 2 goals in the first half from Enzo Martinez. A goal pulled back. Mark Anthony Kay, his first of the season. Now it's Luke Spencer for Lou City. Miss-hit cross right off Jude Marcus Davidston. Still alive for Louisville City. A chance here, and it's out for a corner kick. Somehow it stayed alive. Charlotte unable to clear, and that man popping up again, Oscar Jimenez.
What a scramble, but ultimately effective play. I mean, they got a shot off goal. 1-2 combination by Jimenez. Spencer's always getting involved. I mean, he's done well, really well with the possession. But I would say, Matt, I want Spencer more as a target player. I want him to be holding the ball and obviously feeding the runs off his possession. I think they're going to be more effective if they continue doing that because you have dangerous players in the midfield who can easily take shots. Williams, obviously Jimenez, as he's proven, Smith, Abend. These are all quality strikers, midfielders that can score goals. So if Spencer really plays well back to goal,
a header is wide.
They'll probably have more chances.
Mark Anthony Kay rising to head it.
Another set piece attempt here by Louisville, who again, sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but if they continue doing this, there's a great chance we'll have an equalizer tonight.
Third corner kick of the night that was for Louisville. Charlotte does not have a corner kick. Somewhat surprising for the home side. It's just one of those weird games where Charlotte's at home, they're winning 2-1, they have an informed player in Enzo Martinez with 2 goals, they're unbeaten in 10, they have eyes on first, but everything else about the game feels like Louisville's in control.
Yes, you couldn't have stated it better. I would say the same thing. It looks a little sloppy to me. I mean, it just looks like they're not feeling it tonight. They're not meshing well. I mean, they're not playing by memory. Touches aren't on, but like everything you just expressed, they're winning. Obviously, the top of the table. They're at home, and at the end of the day, that's all that counts.
Martinez really taking the 2 chances he's had and putting them away. That's how he has 11 goals on the season. But Louisville looking likely for an equalizer as they almost get through. Spencer was all alone, but in the end, the Charlotte defense does just enough. Kyle Smith looking to take it quickly. See Mike Jeffries, the Charlotte head coach, really experienced head coach. College and MLS with FC Dallas, an assistant with Chicago under Bob Bradley years ago, as we see a change here for Charlotte. It's Jan Ekra coming on for Lewis Hilton. So maybe just the change that Mike Jeffries wants to see is losing control of the game, and he goes to Jan Ekra.
Very strategic moves here. I mean, those substitutes coming in at this minute, it's not because of weary of legs, it's because you want a strategy change. Coach Jeffrey has a lot of experience. He knows what he wants. He knows who he has on the bench. And Ekra seems to be the choice he made now to make a change.
Ekra, 26 years of age, from Ivory Coast, rose from the Lyon Youth Academy in France. 15th appearance of the season tonight. Now on the hour mark, it's Charlotte 2, Louisville City 1. 2 from Enzo Martinez in the first half. Mark Anthony Kay is first of this season after he came on early on around the 27th minute as an injury replacement for Paolo Del Piccolo. Here's Spencer. Starting tonight for Louisville City. Waits for help. Wide, contact edge of the box. Referee had a good view, but Spivey waves it off. That was Oscar Jimenez coming in from the left.
Incredible story about Spencer. He's been a super sub the whole season. He's come in and scored crucial goals in crucial moments, and he's get the start. You know, he's there. He wants to make sure that he capitalizes on his opportunity tonight.
Now Spencer, good strength to ride out the challenge, lays it off, and it's hit over the bar. Kyle Smith, what a chance to tie things up for Louisville City, but he cannot keep it down from 10 yards out.
What a great selfless play by Spencer. He held the ball well. I thought he was going to take a shot. He was really setting himself up for his right foot, but he saw Smith coming up with that great run. Fortunately, he couldn't connect well.
Kyle Smith, 1 goal on the season. Tonight's his 18th start, so he's ever present for James O'Connor in Lou City. Now David Estrada wins it and then loses it in midfield, and a foul behind the plate. And a free kick. Louisville City. Mark Anthony Kay has been excellent since coming on. Not just the goal, but been lively, willing to make runs, trying to make a statement here off the bench.
Well, usually when you do come off the bench, you want to make that statement. You want to show your coach and your teammates that you're reliable, that you will make a difference no matter when you come in or what time of the game. So congrats to Kay. He's earned, I believe, his spot here when it comes to productivity. He's just another asset to be taken into consideration for the mix for Louisville.
Now a foul. Bilal Duckett, the guilty party. And another Louisville change. It's Cameron Lancaster coming on for Luke Spencer. So you've been praising Spencer as of late. What do you think of this change?
Interesting how it's flipped around now. But Spencer did a great job today. He held his own. He held the ball up top. He didn't have many opportunities to really take a shot. Usually he likes to create his own opportunities, but it's tough when you have such a good defense on Charlotte's side. He's playing his back to the goal most of the time and being more of a facilitator than an actual striker today. But I did throw out the name Lancaster earlier today when we were talking pregame and what he's done lately and obviously how his level is. But I've seen him play in the past, and he's a very dangerous player. He comes in, he's a lot of strength, a lot of speed, and he's a goal scorer. So this might prove the moment where he needs to step up and make a change for Louisville.
One of the co-team leaders in goals replaces the other. Lancaster brings 5 goals off the bench, replacing Spencer. 15th appearance of the season tonight. He sees some frustration there from Callum Ross. Lancaster has been the primary starter, Spencer the primary sub, but tonight they swap roles, and we'll see if Lancaster can produce a super sub moment of his own.
And that's interesting to see that your team has that type of depth on the team. Obviously, you know you have the versatility between 2 very similar players, yet very different, who can come in at any time and make a difference. Because they've proven it. They've done it in the past. Lancaster's done it in the past.
The delivery is just a bit long. And no problem for Cody Mizell.
So it's going to be interesting what this change will make. I mean, I'm quite baffled. I'm not really sure why Spencer's been taken out. I thought he did a great job, but I'm understanding now that O'Connor's wants maybe some fresh legs. Obviously, someone another chance to maybe bring another view of striker into the mix. So he'll have his reasons, and hopefully Lancaster takes his opportunity today.
Mark Anthony Kay caught in possession. Good work that time from Callum Ross with help from David Estrada. Kalungi gives it away. It's been just a night of turnovers from Charlotte. Now maybe a handball or a foul behind the play, but there is going to be a booking, so most likely a foul that time. Christopher Spivey not hesitating. Henry Kalungi into the book. He and Enzo Martinez now on yellow card, as you see the thoughts for Mike Jeffries talking with his coaching staff.
This is really interesting. We're going to have Jimenez and Lancaster. Lancaster just came in. He wants the ball. He wants to show his presence. He's going to take this free kick. He will most likely go in for that first post right over the wall. Very similar to the strike that Jimenez had, who had the second post on target. So let's see if Mizell can come up strong on this free kick.
Lancaster through the wall, and it's right at Mizell, who set up his wall perfectly. Left the right side of the goal and covered the left, and on one hop right at him.
A comfortable stop by Mizell, but at the same time, Lancaster was trying to sneak that pass through the wall, which it did, but very, very low strike. I mean, didn't have much power to it. But typical Lancaster free kick, obviously very dangerous overall.
24-year-old into the game, taking the restart. It's 2-1 Charlotte, 2 goals in the first half. 11th minute and 44th minute from Enzo Martinez, and then a goal back from Mark-Anthony Gay. That's where we stand with 25 minutes plus stoppage time left from Sportsplex at Matthews outside of Charlotte. Good strength that time from Speedy Williams. Wide right, here's Kyle Smith. Charlotte back in numbers around the box. Good ball in behind. And it's cleared off the line, then headed cleared a second time. 2 good chances for Louisville. And desperate defending from Charlotte. It was Kay nearly with the second of the half.
What an exciting play here. Exciting movement for Louisville. Great attempt. It was just a combination of fights, of hits and stops and combinations. So interesting attempt, but unfortunately Charlotte did really well to defend that play.
The first one was a good clearance. The second one was spectacular, right at the goal line. Christopher Spivey in good position. And Louisville should feel like they should have tied it up there.
Donald Smith came up top here with that defensive play there.
Well, now some extra contact after the fact as we take a look at the replay.
Mizell with the first block, and then Smith on the line, I believe. Beautiful defensive play here.
The New England Revolution low knee clearing it with his left leg. That was Gaia Ben nearly scoring with the diving header. It was a good first save initially from Mizell, his right leg denying Mark-Anthony Kay. After this play, it was interesting, a yellow card, I think deservedly so, going to Speedy Williams. He sort of pushed Alex Martinez on the ground, and now you see Martinez talking with one of the Louisville City coaches. Alex Martinez may have been shown just a yellow card. We're talking to the referee. Martinez is showing his shin and more to the Louisville City bench.
A lot of frustration there in that play.
But the entire sequence began with Speedy Williams over there. May have pushed Alex Martinez to the ground, then nearly stepped on him. He stepped right around his head.
That's what he's saying there, Martinez. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I mean, that's very frustrating. If you're getting hit on the floor, then obviously you're going to argue with the referee as much as possible. But he needs to be very careful as well. He doesn't want to, make sure that he doesn't want to offend the referee.
It'd be very good to see the initial foul and what happened after the fact, because it was very aggressive from Speedy Williams. And as you can see, Alex Martinez absolutely upset. James O'Connor mostly distanced himself from the fray. Alex Martinez continues to give a peace of mind.
Yeah, definite frustration here by Martinez, vocalizing his and expressing his frustration to both O'Connor, it seemed.
So Speedy Williams and Alex Martinez into the book of Christopher Spivey. David Estrada turns it over. One of those assistant coaches, it's James O'Connor, the head coach. Daniel Bird, the assistant, I believe, was the one that was subject to the wrath of Alex Martinez. We didn't see Thabane Sutu, the goalkeeper coach, that close to the scene.
Again, players get frustrated, obviously, in moments. But need to be very
Tosh,
careful.
Top of the box. Big hit that time from Lancaster, well blocked by Charlotte. 70th minute, 2-1 Independence, as emotions have run high all night.
yeah, the players need to keep their head. I mean, they know at the end of the day they have to let their feet play. Obviously, the ball, obviously, but they don't want to verbalize anything. Obviously, insulting towards the referees. You will get ejected, obviously, and that's not worth it. So players like Martinez, who are such an asset to a team, they need to, calm down, rationalize. I understand you got hit. It happens. Maybe it was dirty. It was obviously illicit, but that's part of the game. You have to know how to react well and obviously keep your calm so you won't have, obviously, a less player on the field.
Wide here. Here's Kyle Smith cutting inside. Back for Sean Tosh. Charlotte defending very deep, almost like they're down a man, like that was the case in early June at Louisville. Crossing, and a big clearing header that time. Callum Ross got to it. And Mark Anthony Kay slipped under his own power. Estrada fails to clear. Now it's a throw in for Charlotte. Callum Ross receiving some treatment. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Matt Peterson with Albert Munoz. So glad you've tuned in. 72nd minute, Charlotte 20 minutes away from going atop the Eastern Conference, leapfrogging Charleston. The Battery losing 1-0 at Toronto FC today. Charlotte will go to Toronto FC midweek. They won't have Enzo Martinez, who will be suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Here's Kyle Smith on this right side. Good fake, center of the box, laid back, Lancaster. And it's deflected and wide. The shot came from Guy Abend. It was Lancaster, good hold up and layoff. A Louisville chance after chance in this second half.
Fancy footwork there by Cal Smith. A little step over move, creating a chance here for Louisville. I love watching that. I love seeing these players being creative. I mean, this really shows confidence in their style of play. So,
Oscar Jimenez crossing, and it's headed away.
Yeah, set piece action here for Louisville is going to be very dangerous. I mean, they're obviously running on the clock. They need to make sure that they capitalize on any chance they have. There's a lot of momentum in their game at the moment. They're obviously strategizing. They're making sure that they put emphasis on their strikers.
Another cross from Oscar Jimenez, cleared by Charlotte. Clipped back in the box, and offside. Had 5 total yellow cards in this game. Enzo Martinez in the first minute. Kyle Smith later in that first half, and then 3 in quick order here recently. Henry Kalungi, and then the double yellow card situation. Alex Martinez responding to the challenge from Speedy Williams. Looks like another change coming for Mike Jeffries and Charlotte. Craig rises to win the header. Abend spinning. That's a great ball played through. And run down by Oscar Jimenez, but a good sliding clearance. Now is Donnie Smith on loan from New England Revolution of MLS, playing back in his hometown of Matthews, North Carolina. Ball played through. Mark Anthony Kay still alive, centering it. Half cleared and now fully cleared.
I knew I recognized fancy footwork when I saw Ballard on the ball. He's such a important player for Louisville, and I hadn't seen him in the game on me. So obviously he just subbed in. He's a very dangerous player who makes differences on the field for Louisville. Hopefully he makes a change tonight.
Yeah, I didn't see him come on either. He did come on though for Neil McCabe in the 71st minute as Enzo Martinez is down and Craig shown a yellow card. You saw the appeals there saying it was a high elbow.
Yeah, the Martinez brothers are constantly looking and always fighting for that call. And brotherly love, they're taking care of each other. Alex Martinez felt that was a high elbow on his brother Enzo, who did get deliberately hit. They got the call, so they'll move forward and be smart with their plays here.
Now Spees will come on to replace David Estrada. Estrada, quiet night for him. Now Spees an opportunity to try to see out this win for the Independents. We saw Ballard into this game, the substitute, just a bit ago for Neil McKay. Ballard scored the winning goal in the 1-0 win for Louisville over Charlotte back in June. That was the last loss for Charlotte. 10 unbeaten since that 1-0 Louisville win behind the Ballard goal.
Now the change from Spees for Schroeder. Very important time in the game. 75th minute, you want fresh legs, you want someone on top. Schroeder did an exceptional job to try to hold the ball up top. I mean, he wasn't successful, obviously, penetrating the defensive line, but I think he had a pretty decent game partnering up with Martinez up top. But Spees really has now the task to fill in that void. Herrera had, obviously, today missing the game. And hopefully, final 15 minutes for him obviously are crucial, and they'll be deciding for Charlotte, sorry.
Ballard dancing, but well defended there. June Marcus Davidson helping out. Callum Ross. Louisville now out of substitutes. They've used all three. Mike Jeffries has one left for Charlotte. These teams could meet in the playoffs. It would most likely be a second round matchup. Currently the number 2 and 3 place teams in the Eastern Conference, but Charlotte climbing. If the score holds, they'll pass Charleston and go atop the East. Louisville City could fall as low as 4th, as Tampa Bay was in a winning position earlier tonight. Oscar Jimenez to take this corner kick as Louisville seeks the equalizer. They scored twice off set pieces last week. Still alive, and another corner kick coming. It came off the head of Kalungi.
A really quick stat about possession. 13 minutes left in the game. It's turned into a 60-40 game here, Matt. Louisville taking advantage of possession, and it really reflects in these set pieces. So they really have the chance to hold the ball and create chances, and hopefully one of these goes in and we find the equalizer.
6th corner kick for Louisville. Put in the mix. Alive at the back post. Tosh played it through, and it's cleared. What a dangerous ball. 2 yards in front of the goal line, just smashed from Sean Tosh. Well cleared by Charlotte. They're defending so deep they can't get out of their own end whatsoever. Pinned into their 18-yard box. And a foul goes against Mark Anthony Kay. He thought it was a clean shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Austin Yearwood draws the foul, and that at least lets Charlotte breathe a little bit.
Looking at this replay, I mean, exceptional, surprising hit. I mean, that could have been on a toe of a bend.
And look who cleared it. Enzo Martinez using the outside of his right, a forwards clearance.
Such a versatile player.
He was there tackling back. Good instincts from Enzo Martinez.
Now these are the moments where Louisville needs to obviously calm down. Continue playing the way they are, but calm down because desperation sets in.
Alex Martinez picks it up, plays it wide right, and they score! A hat trick for Enzo Martinez. What a night for him, now 12 on the season. From the opening whistle, this one, he's been up for it. Early 3 chances in this game, and he scored on all 3.
And just how I was mentioning that desperation kicks in for Louisville, but Charlotte came on that counterattack. Beautiful run up here by Smith. Great time pass. And Martinez, he's on fire. Every shot he takes is a threat. And in this case, it's his choice shot, which is right-footed, second post slotted past the goalie.
Yeah, great eye there. I misidentified the pass. Initially, I thought it was Alex Martinez. It was Donnie Smith. So the low knee, and then a red card shown for his celebration, I believe, for going towards the crowd. But a second yellow and a red card. What's it for? For leaving the field of play to celebrate? Did he take his shirt off?
I could only imagine. I mean, how frustrating is this for Charlotte and for Enzo Martinez? Hat trick and then a ejection at 80th minute. How could this be?
Unbelievable. scenes here. He went into the crowd. Did one of the fans take his shirt off? He leaves immediately. Looks like he left his shirt on. Did he?
No, I don't think it was a shirt situation. I don't think the referee appreciated he jumped on the wall. Oh, what a decision by the referee. Very surprising.
Well, you see Christopher Spivey calling him over. Louisville talking. We don't see Spivey in view. Now he's called over. And that's a shocking decision. Second yellow after his first minute caution. And now we see Mike Jeffries in the Charlotte bench. It's been a wild night for the Martinez brothers.
This is absolutely mayhem. It's going to create an atmosphere of frustration here for Charlotte. I still don't understand.
It's something you don't see.
No.
Generally, a celebration like that does not bring out a yellow card under any circumstance. And on top of that, you seem like the referee would give you the benefit of the doubt, especially after a hat trick goal.
Of course, and at home and final minutes of the game. How is this so? He looked scared to give him that yellow card. Did you see him? He was like almost kind of smiling to see, hey, I'm so sorry I'm doing this, but here's a yellow card and a red card. Unbelievable.
Well, the second straight meeting, Charlotte will have to play down a man. They lost in Louisville after the red card to Shawnee Fairclaw, who picked up a second yellow around the 48th minute in his Charlotte debut. And now it's Enzo Martinez. And frankly, if there was any Martinez brother sent off, I would have guessed Alex after that interaction with Speedy Williams and the Louisville coaching staff. But Christopher Spivey, the referee, perhaps reading too far into the letter of the law, and a celebration for a hat trick. He went over to the stands, jumped on the railing, left after about 5 seconds, walked back. It seemed very reasonable.
I'm not sure if that's a new rule and you cannot do that. I mean, I've always seen it in sports. I've always seen it in all types of celebrations, and unbelievable. I'm still shocked. And like you mentioned, I mean, Alex Martinez verbally assaulted everyone on the sideline there, and he didn't get a single even caution. I mean, this is frustrating for Coach Jeffries. I mean, and for the whole Charlotte side. You have Herrera out, and you have now Enzo Martinez missing the next game. I mean, this is very, very difficult for them to adapt to. And obviously, I hate to say it, but I mean, these players are key, clutch players, and you don't want to have a game without one of the other or even two of them out. So we'll see how they adapt.
So barring an appeal and a successful appeal, Enzo Martinez will miss the next 2 games because the yellow card accumulation still goes into effect. So he'll miss both games on the road at Toronto FC on Wednesday and the next Saturday at Ottawa Fury FC. But a hat trick and now 12 goals on the season for the reigning USL MVP finalist.
That's just simply terrible for Charlotte. Unbelievable news there. At this point in the season, I mean, they're number 1 on the table, understandably. They're coming up, obviously. They're doing really well, but to have such a loss of players.
And now a ball through. Good opportunity here. Kyle Smith, and a great recovery. That was Yearwood coming back. Smith's had chance after chance on the right side for Louisville in the second half.
That was a beautiful through ball. That was a great opportunity. I mean, I think he just took 2 seconds too long to decide to take the touch on the shot. That could have been an actual 3-2 situation for Charlotte here.
Outstanding defensive play from Yearwood. Local boy from Charlotte, went to High Point University, which is up near Greensboro, Winston-Salem, but came up in the Charlotte Soccer Academy and also played for the Charlotte Eagles while in college. So trying to build a local-based team, which includes Donnie Smith, the loanee from New England, who grew up in this very town of Matthews, North Carolina. A hat trick from Enzo Martinez, and then a questionable second yellow card for his celebration, jogging off the field, nearby stands. It'd be one thing if the crowd was 20, 30 yards away like some bigger stadiums, but as you can see, the railing is just about 8 or 10 yards off the sideline.
And he got off really quick. And other teammates went up there just as well. I mean, they were all hanging on there. He came downstairs, and he immediately got on the field, and he was obviously running back to the center field. It wasn't he wasn't delaying time. So I'm still surprised at this call. I mean, unless there's a rule out there, I mean, I haven't heard.
Mark-Anthony Kaye clipping it over the top, headed out by Bilal Duckett.
If that's the case, I guarantee you he'll never celebrate like that again. He'll make sure he goes right back to the center field and start the game again.
Speedy Williams. One of those where chances have been taken by Charlotte. Louisville hasn't capitalized on theirs. By the way, a sellout tonight at Soccerplex in Matthews, 2648 in attendance. Ballard lost it and then forced to foul Yearwood. So no Brian Ownby tonight for Louisville, and I would imagine that was a plan all along from James O'Connor to rest Ownby, one of his most important players, as they go into a busy part of the schedule. No more subs available, but you would think chasing a goal, if he had any intention to use him, he would have brought him on at some point.
Absolutely, and he's such a quality player. I mean, we talked about this very briefly. A player like Ownby, why is he being rested at this point in the season? That's the question we had, right? I would only think that the confidence that the coach has in the rest of his team to make sure that they pull through and come out and allow this player to rest, because he's going to be crucial in the final third of this season. That might be one of the only reasons, or maybe he's still nursing an injury. That's all I could think.
Well, James O'Connor does like to rotate his players. We talked about it with Spencer and Lancaster, among others. It's a long season in the USL, and you're going to need a guy like Ownby in the playoffs, as Louisville's reached 2 straight Eastern Conference finals in the playoffs. So Charlotte down a man to the Enzo Martinez, second yellow for celebrating his hat trick. Now Alex Martinez is fouled. Sean Tosh out of Northern Illinois University. Good player for Rochester the last couple of years, and Alex Martinez not afraid to voice his thoughts on the proceedings. Mike Jeffries has to have mixed emotions, on the verge of his 11th straight game without a defeat. 8 wins during that run if this 3-1 scoreline holds. Now another chance, and a big tackle at the back. Well done that time by Paco Craig. Really, the first time we've had a chance to call Jan Ekra's name, the Ivory Coast native. Seesaw his first goal of the year. Now Jeffries talking things out. That's Benjamin Ellis, the 4th official. He's earned his paycheck tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the end of Alex Martinez's complaints. Very passionate. I mean, the Martinez brothers are very vocal, as you can tell, very emotional players. But they need to be careful, because obviously that type of temperament could get them in trouble. And I'm very surprised they haven't got a yellow card. At least Alex. So we already know that Enzo, unfortunately, got the...
Alex does have a yellow.
Well, I mean, further than that, because as we both can see, he has not been quiet all game.
Ballard battling with Austin Yearwood. Yearwood able to clear. It's out to Sean Tosh. Run down on the far side, Oscar Jimenez.
Great effort tonight by Jimenez. He's been on the ball.
Gaia Bend, good ball, and it's well covered by Cody Mizell. A very interesting ball there. Here's Martinez now getting in the face, but I think that Mark-Anthony Kaye was well within his rights to go after that ball as he sought a goal. I think Martinez overreacting there.
That's a very typical collision. I mean, obviously, great through ball. Louisville's player running up, Kay, and he collided. I mean, that's inevitable.
So it sounds like Kay is getting yellow card here. This was a very crafty ball.
He absolutely has no chance to stop there. I mean, unfortunately for Kay, he didn't get injured there. He could have got the worst of his knee tackle there from Mizell coming out protecting the ball. But absolutely no ill intent there from Kay to hurt Mizell.
Yeah, so Kay goes into the book. Looked like Kalunki may have pushed him a little bit too. May have pushed him into the goalkeeper, Mizell.
Yeah, it was a very speedy play. I mean, it was very difficult. In live action, it looks like a very rough play, but looking at the replay, Kay had no chance to stop. And again, he luckily was able to stand up, jump over the Mizell, who caught his knees.
Gaia Ben playing that ball on the ground. I love the thought there from midfield. It was wide open at the top of the box. The center backs were displaced for Charlotte. We're now into 7 minutes of second half stoppage time. So who knows what we have in store with everything we've seen over the first 90 minutes. So you see Speedy Williams walking away gingerly.
Yeah, I was expecting 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, there's been a lot of delays. I mean, just with the celebration and the red card, obviously, and Martinez, Alex arguing with the referees. 7 minutes sounds fair.
Shot is high and wide, and Tim Dobrovolsky will restart this one. Here comes Paco Craig. The center back pushing forward. Well read that time. Yearwood's had a good night tonight. Jan Ekra, central. That's a good outlet ball. There's Alex Martinez. Tussle edge of the box. Still Alex Martinez. Shot was blocked. It was Morad cutting over. It's a wrestling match between those two at the edge of the box. Both players look tired there.
Very scrappy. That took a lot of energy there from both players. And Martinez obviously took the brunt of it.
Charlotte up 3-1, but down a man. Enzo Martinez sent off after a second yellow, apparently for celebrating the third goal of his hat trick.
I'm still baffled by two things. Del Piccolo's injury, his substitution. What happened to him? We didn't see. It wasn't clear. That's frustrating for us to see.
Ballard does well. June Marcus Davidson over there to help.
And secondly, Enzo Martinez's red card. I still can't understand what happened there. I would love to talk to the referee post-game and understand what happened. What did he do? Did he say something? Did he do something? Is this a law that he cannot celebrate on the wall?
Yeah, it might be the official rule. You can't leave the field of play to celebrate.
Has to be. But what a moment for him. Give him a yellow card and a red card.
That's the tough part, though, is where does the field of play end? Does it end right at the wall? Does it end at the railing? I think most refs look the other way. And
I mean, realistically speaking, I understand the danger.
Yeah.
You could slip, you could get injured just by celebrating. I've seen it happen so many times in the past with all types of players and all types of celebrations. Jumping the hurdles, jumping the walls, getting on fences, getting assaulted by their fans. And it leads to a liability. So I understand if there's a rule against it, but is it clear? I mean, do these players know this? Or is it just mean that he just completely overthought and said, you know what, I just scored a hat trick and I want to jump on the wall and I don't care what happens. If that's the case, I hope that's not the case. But if that is the case, that's a shame on Enzo Martinez because he is a valuable asset for his team. He can't get these red cards.
Richard Ballard goes down. It's a goal kick. He also could have forgotten about his previous yellow. It happened in the first minute. He's a forward. He scored twice. And then he has the hat trick. I think if you're a forward, you're thinking about your hat trick, not that you're on a yellow perhaps.
Of course.
Caught in the moment.
Yes.
As we'll now see Luke Wechter, the final change for Mike Jeffries and Charlotte. And I think this is a smart substitution. If he wants to have one of his Martinez players going on the road to Canada next week, he gets Martinez off the field, and more words from him as he comes off.
Feisty player, Alex Martinez, a player to watch today, who did not disappoint. A lot of energy, a lot of passion. I think he well-deserved clap and applause there from the fans.
Martinez very experienced in the USL, previously with Carolina Railhawks and OC Blues. Now in his 3rd year with Charlotte. 10 games in MLS. Sporting Kansas City in 2014. Anthony K. Wide here. A bend. Central, and it's dealt with well by Charlotte. Good work here on this near side. Yearwood bursting forward, pushed from behind. And a free kick coming for Charlotte. Sean Tosh forced to commit the foul.
It's a great set piece action here for Charlotte that he just yielded Yearwood. Great run. I mean, a lot of energy exposed there. Final minutes, I'm sure he's exhausted. But this is what they need to do now. They need to hold the ball. Wechter coming in, fresh legs, give him the ball, let him go into the corner, kill some time, keep possession, take some shots, but don't ever obviously let your guard down on the defensive side.
Cameron Lancaster, the substitute, plays it long. Kalungi back for Mizell. Out towards midfield. And all the way back on the foot of Sean Tosh. Mark Anthony K, the only goal for Louisville tonight. Referee right in the middle of it, as he has been all night. Drew Marcus Davidson showing his skill. And the substitute Wechter up the line.
That's exactly what Charlotte needs. Fancy footwork, possession, cheers from the crowd. 3-1, home. It's been a good night for them.
Good cover that time. Callum Ross stepping in front of Richard Ballard. And full time from Sportsplex at Matthews. That is a look at the head coach of the first place team in the East. Mike Jeffries will enjoy this one. A hat trick from Enzo Martinez. And Charlotte has leapfrogged Charleston in the standings, now on 39 points. And the Independents unbeaten in 11. And now atop the East. 3 from Enzo Martinez, and then a red card, second yellow for that celebration. Back to wrap it up after this.
Sick of foil that sticks to your food? Well, not anymore.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here, back with my Gotham Steel Crisper Tray, the new non-stick baking rack that fries food right in the oven. The secret to the elevated cooking rack that allows air to circulate around all the sides of the food. And there's no sticking with our super slick Thai ceramic surface. The Crisper Tray is great for bacon. All the grease drips right through. Make perfectly crisp pizza logs without all the mess. Or make air-fried fish and chips with no oil or grease. So forget soggy reheated foods.
Get your Gotham Steel Crisper Tray with non-stick Thai ceramic surface today for just $19.99. Plus get your shipping absolutely free. But we're not finished yet. Order now and you can get a second Crisper Tray with non-stick Thai ceramic surface, just pay separate fee. Plus get your shipping absolutely free. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-695-8175. That's 1-800-695-8175 or order online at gothamcrisper.com.